Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a couple of smaller items, accessories, whatever you want to call it. This is a knife slash carabiner from Warbow, and then we have the flash finder from Footnote. And quickly go through this. This basically is a flashlight that you can put on your keys, and it has Find My capability that you can link through your iPhone. Now, the first question I always get with the Find My product is, does it have precise location? The answer is no. It is not a licensed product by Apple, so it does not have precise location, but it'll let you know if you left them at your house, your work, etc. Could still be good to have. Plus, you have the flashlight feature. Here's the box. Get some information on there. Pause and read anything you like. Recharges via USB-C. You have a power button here. You'll hear the... Oh, didn't go off that time. Usually there's like a little alarm. I think maybe you have to hold it. We'll go over that in a second. But you turn it on and then you tap and it will cycle the modes. And then it will turn off on that last one. I have not found a way to like double click to off or anything. You'll see if I double tap, we'll get that beeping sound. So if you do that, you just get the flashlight and off. If you hold down, well, I guess it has to be on first. I was getting the alarm before when I did that. Now I'm just getting a beep. Interesting. Let me try that again. Interesting. Okay. Maybe it connected. I'm not sure. We'll see. So the way you would connect it is you go to your Find My app. I'm going to try to be careful here because I don't want to show you my location. And you would click on the plus sign under the Devices tab. Hopefully you guys can see that. Sorry, I know it's a little weird. You hit the plus sign, and then you would select Add Other Item. Sorry. Add Other Item. And then it's going to try to search for the other item. And it's going to find it. If you don't find it right away, you just want to do what I did, where you hold down, you get that beeping sound. And then you would hit connect. You could name it. Flash tag, whatever. Continue. Choose an emoji, sure, whatever. Now it's linked. I'm agreeing to link it. And it will give you directions in map. It will play sounds. You have lost mode, and then you can share your item as well. And now that item is listed. I'm not going to show you the map because it has my address and everything on there. But now I can hit play sound, and it will do this. That's pretty, I mean, that's doing some shit. Okay? Then you can have directions, and again, you can share it with other people. And it will also notify you. So I have a similar item from a company called Rolling Square. I do have a new one coming from them that looks really cool. But I have like a card. It's like a credit card thing, and it has Find My in it. And whenever I leave my house or whatever, it'll tell me, you left your, card behind. So it'll do that kind of stuff. It'll tell you, hey, your keys are, somewhere else. Now, personally, keys are hard for me to misplace like that because I need them to drive my car. And I don't take my truck anywhere without them. I don't really go anywhere without my truck. So the only place I would leave them is in my house somewhere. And then without precise location, I'm not going to be able to really track them down to which floor and like, which room they're in or anything. So I don't know, but I do think that sound and those lights would really help. So there is that, of course. Now let's see if there's anything else that I missed here, and then we'll go check out the other item. So I showed you how to add it. You can pause and read that if you like. And you can use it as a flashlight. So I did miss some stuff on here. Cool. So flashlight mode, a short press on the power button to turn it on, then press to cycle through 4 different modes. And you'll see off is one of them. You cannot just turn it off. Alarm light mode. Long press power button to turn on, then short press to cycle through 6 modes. Long press power button again to turn off. Okay, so let's see. Long press power button to turn on. Got it. Long press, or then short press to cycle. So we have red, then red strobe, blue strobe, and then the one we had earlier, which is this one. And then you would long press to turn off again. And I don't know if that would then keep that one as your alarm. I guess we could find out. Let's see, long press. Okay, let's say we want this red one. Now let's long press again. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to my phone and hit the alarm and see if it does that now. Nope, still does this one. So that's just for you to, I guess, select. I'm not sure what that's for. If you wanted to have a blue strobe randomly for no reason. There's an SOS signal. The last mode in alarm light mode is the SOS light. In this mode, the red light will flash rapidly 3 times, followed by 3 long flashes. Blah, blah, blah. Note, not a substitute for professional emergency services. Okay. Then there's the Find My Stuff, play a sound, turn on lost mode, blah, blah. Okay. Compatibility. Okay. So there is some other stuff you can do with the light, like the SOS mode or whatever, but pretty much you just have the light, which is fine. It's very lightweight, it's very compact, and you can use this guy right here to charge it with a USB-C. So I will put a link to this down below. I'm sure they gave me a link. Let me see if I can find the flash finder. So it came from a company called Futura Gear, but on there it says Footnote Accessories, so it must just be the parent company or something like that. Yeah. He sent me a link to Footnote Accessories. So here it is. We use cookies. Let's see. Purchase now. So here's an Amazon link. So that's what I'll do. I will link it to Amazon for you, and it is $28, and you can get a $3 coupon, so it's 25 bucks. I'll link it on Amazon in the description below. 25 bucks. I mean, that's kind of nice, not gonna lie. If it was like 50 or 75 bucks, I'd be like, yeah. But 25 bucks just to have a little extra insurance on your keychain, I mean, that's kind of genius. If you don't already have a flashlight on your keys, 25 bucks, you get a flashlight and you get the Find My built-in. Yeah, I got to give them credit. That's actually really cool. So that is the flash finder from Footnote Accessories. Thank you to them for sending that out. Now, this one's called the Warbow. And this is a brand, I believe, started by 2 guys who have been in the EDC community. And they were just thinking one day, why isn't there a carabiner knife that exists? Now, there is, actually. I've had a couple, I think. I had one from CRKT, but it was terrible. It was like a little slip joint, which doesn't look like this is. And the carabiner was terrible. And yeah. So this is much better. I think that one was called the Bond, or I think that's who designed it, Mike Bond. This is much better, honestly. Right off the gate here. I haven't checked this out before, but you have a nice little carabiner here. You got an aluminum door, looks like. So you could hook this to a bag or whatever. And then you have a little flipper. And to be honest, you actually have, it's substantial, like you can actually grip it and rip it. Whoa, it's tiny, but you get a Tanto blade, so you get 2 edges, which is kind of smart if you think about it. Basically, it's a good package opener right there. Boom. Honestly, this might be a pretty cool item for somebody who like grocery shopping. Am I crazy? You could hook your bags through here, and then, you know, you'd have something to hold, and you could carry your bags with this. And then to open stuff, you'd have this. I don't know. Maybe that's overthinking it. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. This flipper tab is actually really satisfying. This feels really good. The detent is perfect. They did a great job with the detent. Listen to this. You hear that? Pops open. I can see there's ceramic bearings in there. If you get the right angle, they look like 1/8 3/64 size bearings. Yes, somehow I can figure that out just from looking at this angle. I think I'm right. Really cool there. They do have a little nail nick on there, so you can, I guess, grab it like this. But man, you hear that detent? Whew! Definitely use the flipper tab. Why not? Centering is off. You can see that quite a bit, actually. Now I'm going to double check and make sure it's not supposed to be. If it's a chisel grind or whatever reason, might just be, yeah, it's kind of loose. So I don't know if it loosened up just now. Let's see. This is a T8. We have a T8. So you could tell it was knife guys. The pivot's kind of jostling back and forth there, which tells me it was Loctited where it is. I don't really want to... Oh, there we go. I can crank it down, but I'm guessing what's going to happen is... Oh, no. Still deployed. A little tighter, but no, still fine. So they just Loctited it loose. So that's an easy fix. All I would do is loosen this out, which is heavily Loctited, which I think is smart for a product like this. I don't think we're going to do a full disassembly, but we totally could. You'd have to take all these screws out, and then I'm guessing it would just pop apart. Might be interesting to mess with that, but I don't know if I really want to. So you would just take that out, and then I can take a little bit of Loctite. I'm just going to do this the easy way. And if I was smart, I'd probably clean it a little first, but, you know, I'm not going crazy here. Just put a little bit of Loctite on there. And then I'm going to tighten this back down. Captive pivot, obviously. Check centering. Centering looks good. I'm going to check the action. Okay, did not lock up. So let's just make sure. Yeah, it's pretty smooth, actually. I think I just blocked it. There is no play at all. So now I would just let it sit and Loctite. So no biggie there. Centering's fine. Just had to tweak it. And honestly, for most people, who cares if this isn't centered? I don't. That is actually a snappy, fun little guy to play with. And you can look at the stock, really thin, so it's actually going to cut pretty well, I think. This is a little bit probably too much for it, but we have some cardboard here. So, I mean, it cut it. It cuts. So the cool thing about a Tanto blade like this is I don't really want to cut my here I'll use the box. Cool thing about a Tanto blade is, let's say you have an Amazon package you need to open, which I think is what this is for. You can, instead of having to go all the way up and use the tip on whatever knife you have this secondary tip, and they made it really nice and aggressive. So all you got to do is put it down on that secondary tip, and you could slice right through that tape, or even if you wanted to just slice right through the cardboard. I don't want to cut the box up too bad, but easy peasy, no problem there. And then you obviously have the regular edge to slice like this. And you could use this front edge for something like that as well. It's just going to be a little bit harder, but it works. It's sharp, I'll tell you that. I did look up the specs. It's 14C 28N blade steel. So they're like real knife guys, I think. that made a product, and I think that's pretty cool. This is probably the first like genuine attempt at this that I've seen. Like I said, I saw the CRKT one, but that's more like, hey, we have a gimmicky knife. Look at this. This is like, we want you to hang this off your bag and actually use it. So I will say, at first I was like, what the, why? You know, why are they doing this? But they made a legit product, and if it interests you, hey, I don't think I would buy one. I think they're $49.99 personally, just because I carry a pocket knife, right? I always have a pocket knife in my pocket, and so I'm a knife guy. But for people who don't, or as a gift for somebody who doesn't, I actually think this is pretty cool. And they made it like a legit knife, which I appreciate. And they did think about ergonomics, because it's comfortable. I'm not going to lie. It's comfortable. You can put your thumb right here. Everything else kind of grips underneath. Yeah, that flipper's getting you a little bit, but I mean, it's a little tiny knife. Or you can go into a pinch grip, and I mean, the ergonomics are excellent. Technically you have a little karambit ring here. So if you want to get all tactical on somebody, you know, you could do that. I don't think I can shake it closed necessarily because the flipper tab gets in the way, but can you flick it? I know you guys are wondering. Probably. I think I can flick this. Oh. I think I can do it. Come on, Kev. Come on, baby. I can't do it. Right-handed? Nah, D10's too good. But that's a good thing. It's not going to shake loose on you. You're never going to have that come out. The only downside is maybe if you're like, you brush past something, you could, like, oh, I got my carabiner here, and, maybe you do that and accidentally deploy the knife a little bit. But they made it pretty strong, I think, on purpose so that kind of stuff doesn't happen. And then the carabiner is actually fidgety, too. So you get a little fidget there. You have G10 on here. And it looks like steel, I'm assuming, on the liners. Yeah. Yeah, this is cool. Good job, guys. Yeah, it's $49.99. They have some stickers here. And they did say this is the MK001 Mini Tanto Carabiner. They really want feedback. So if you guys have any feedback, stuff like that, then they're going to implement that. They want to make this as best as they can. They wrote me a little note here. I just want to make sure there's nothing on here that I shouldn't show. There's an address. I'm just going to cover that in case. But they said, hey, Kevin, here's your review sample. Right here, it's exclusively available at warbow.com. There's the specs. 14C, it's a TIN coating, which basically is PVD. Texture G10, anodized aluminum on that carabiner. Clasp, it's made in China. These are the guys who made it. Some information about them down there. And you can see here, they say it's the first iteration, and they welcome all feedback, constructive, critical, and otherwise. They put their heart and soul into this, and they hope that people like it. So, and if you have any questions, you can email them there. So my feedback to them is it's cool. I actually really like it. I'm sure they messed around with different blade shapes, so, I don't think they really need to change that. I think it does make sense. It's going to be a little package opener. That's pretty much perfect, right? Maybe try to add a little hole there so you can flick it out, or a fuller. I don't know if anybody's going to really spend that much time fidgeting with this, flicking it. I think the flipper tab is super fidgety. But that could be a potential fail point, is the flipper tab bumping into stuff, where maybe the strong detent and or strongish detent with a hole would be easier. But then you'd have it'd be less intuitive, I think, for people. So I'm actually, I don't know if I have much to critique on it. I like the design. I mean, if they could maybe make this choil a little bigger, like it doesn't look like this needs to be this exact size. I mean, you can see where the blade comes down. There's still a blade that comes down to the handle. So potentially they could bring this down just a little bit more, like down to here. And that way you would have room to kind of fit a full finger. I don't have giant sausage fingers. I'd say my finger's probably close to average. So a little bit longer there would probably be useful. I love how the liner's built in to the, the whole frame. Some people potentially would probably want to see it as a button lock or something, but I really like the liner. I think the blade stock thickness is great. You saw it actually sliced really well for a tiny little knife. Yeah, so let me know in the comments, guys, if you have any feedback for them, because I think this is a great little tool to just bang onto a bag, and then you have it there when you need it. And when you don't, well, it's just a carabiner, right? So, Warbow, sick. Thank you guys for reaching out and for sending that. I'm glad I checked it out because it's cool. I always think I'm not locking it up all the way, but it's always locked up. And then we had the flash finder here from Footnote Accessories. So a couple of cool little items. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I love you. Links down below to both. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.